This is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The Bahamas Basketball Federation's 6th annual Summer of Thunder Series is rolling along at the Kendall Isaacs Gym. And yesterday, the Kentucky Wildcats started off their 6-game series, which is being aired live on ESPNU and the SEC Network. More than 400 fans from Kentucky were in attendance, but as Kelsey Johnson tells us tonight, their biggest supporter was right from here in the 242.
Taking in some of the action at the University of Kentucky Wildcats and Puerto Rico national squad game yesterday was Olympian Nakia DeVoe, an alumni of the university.
UK fans are crazy about Kentucky basketball. They follow the team everywhere, and this was a great opportunity for us at the Ministry of Tourism to invite them all down here, and I think they're going to be here for a few days. You can hear them behind me really loud. It's a huge event for UK and huge for the Bahamas.
DeVoe, who works in the Ministry of Tourism and closely with the Sports Tourism Department, did the ceremonial jump ball toss.
It was quite an honor for me. I was at Kentucky for about 5 years, and I also represent the team, the Wildcats, the swim team. So in order to be here to represent the Ministry of Tourism as a UK alumni, that was really special for me.
And like a true Big Blue Wildcat fan, DeVoe believes that the squad will capture the NCAA Division I title.
We had a disappointing end to the last season. I was watching the games and we were really hoping for a win, so I think that the guys are hungry and hopefully they're going to try to get it to the finals again this season and maybe a win this time.
The Wildcats will be in town for 8 days playing in the 6th annual Summer of Thunder basketball tournament. Kelsey Johnson, ZNS Total Sports.
All right, thanks a lot, Kelsey. Now, the University of Kentucky is not the only big-time Division I men's team playing in this year's Summer of Thunder. The Ohio State Buckeyes were in town last week, and they eased through their 2 games, beating the Bahamas All-Stars 88-66 and the Providence Storm 115-63. Despite the lopsided scores, though, Buckeyes coach Thad Matta said this was still a good chance to see what he has headed into the new college season.
We're a completely different team than we've been the last couple years. Everything that we're doing is kind of new. So, the Big Ten is the Big Ten. It's always going to be a challenge. But I think these guys, we got a great group of kids. They're good people, and hopefully we can bring it all together.
Local basketball official Freddie Brown continues to move his way up the international ladder. During the recent Men's Central Basket Tournament in Mexico, Brown served as a commissioner for the first time.
Serving as commissioner is a different experience from being a referee. You run the table and you provide support to the referees and supervise them and provide technical details for them to better their game as a floor official.
Did you have any incidents where you had to deal with major incidents?
Well, the referee normally will deal with major incidents, but as far as matters of discipline, we may assist the technical director, who is Mr. Anibal Garcia, in making his decision on major incidents. As far as I know, we only had 1 major incident that we had to deal with, and we dealt with it.
What was that?
A player had to be suspended for a game, disqualified from the game for, code of conduct problems.
In its role as the lead sponsor and organizer for Marathon Bahamas and the Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure, Sunshine Insurance has officially launched its registration drive. Race weekend is set for January 17th and 18th, 2015, and forms are available online at marathonbahamas.com or by stopping by one of the Sunshine Insurance's offices on East Shirley Street or Blue Hill Road.
We have exceeded more than $300,000 in contributions to cancer causes over the past 5 years. So that just demonstrates the degree of commitment that Sunshine Insurance as a corporate entity has to these causes. The planning for the 2015 race, as you all would know, we don't stop. So at the end of the race this year, we began planning for 2015. Those plans are going very well. Registration numbers are very positive. We do have some challenges on the international side. Unfortunately, there are many competing races in South Florida, but we're certain that we will maintain the levels of participation that we have had over the past few years. We always aim to have more than 3,000 participants over the course of the weekend, and I'm fairly confident that that will repeat itself in 2015.
We haven't heard much from Bahamian golfer Georgette Rolls since the LPGA Pearsall Classic at the beginning of the year, but as Julian Gibson tells us tonight, she's been keeping herself quite busy.
This summer has been a busy one for golfer Georgette Rule. She now prepares for the new school year.
I've taught a number of summer camps, some private, and then the summer golf camps with the Ministry of Sports. So I've been logging a ton of hours, thinking ahead of a part two of my 14 Clubs Golf Academy school program. We launched it this past spring in Tamberley, Kingsway, and Woodcock Primary, and it was a blast. There's tons of talent out there, and so I'm really looking forward to this fall semester with us adding a few more schools.
For Georgette Rule, she's been on a number of tournaments, but she wasn't able to make the final cut.
I had some really good days in a number of them, but then I still kind of fell short on some of the other days. So the entire tournament, I guess kind of was starting high and then kind of fell off a little bit. But I've been spending the last 2 months, working really hard on my game, playing every day. And I'm starting to see lower scores, and I've been really working on my mental game, because that's kind of been where I've crashed, in the past, crashed hard. But those are experiences that we can build from. And I've been doing a lot of exercises mentally to try to get past that.
Now, realizing her downfalls, Georgette Rule is hoping to get back on track.
The hope is that I, do go out there and get it right. But from time to time, I read different inspirational books, that are hopefully mind-changing, if you absorb yourself into it and believe whatever philosophies that they're shouting at you. And so I think some of them have stuck, and I've seen it working. So I just have to kind of keep pushing it to ingrain it, to where it's kind of like a sixth sense.
You head off on Wednesday. How you expect to do?
I've got good hopes. Like I said, I've been playing well. My mind is right, I think. The first tournament is a prep event for qualifying school, which is a tournament, which is the first stage of a tournament for me to get full access on the LPGA Tour next year. So I'm thumbs up.
Reporting for ZNS Total Sports, I am Julian Gibson.
All right, thanks a lot, Julian. And that will do it for sports. Don't go anywhere. The Bahamas Tonight is back after the break.
This is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.